Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sue. Today we're going to be making this Tree of Life pendant. It is made of copper and it was really fun to make and I hope you enjoy it. We're at the cottage today. It's a little bit overcast. It's about 40 degrees, so it's super hot. However, we have persevered. So without further ado, let's get crafting. Okay, so for this project we need wire and tools, cutters, spreaders, snips, curlers. I don't know what they're called, but they usually come in a package. I believe all of these came in a package that were all color coded. This one was separate. I bought this one because I like to do, for my jewelry, it gets a nice close cut on my wire. So we'll be using a variety of these throughout the episode. So copper wire comes in different gauges. All wires come in different gauges. I like to use copper. My favorite is resourcing copper, reusing copper from wherever I can get it from, actually. So this is actually this. Hello, dragonfly. With the sheathing taken off. So simply to do that, I take a knife, I slice it down, I peel it back, and it leaves you with a beautiful piece of copper. So of course I don't have a knife here with me to show you how it happens, but that's what I do. So I go to Home Depot sometimes. We have friends that drop it off if they're redoing their homes, whatever. And inside these little sheaths are some beautiful copper, and I like to just use whatever gauge, because I don't know what gauge these are, I feel is easiest to work with. So I'm going to guess that this gauge is probably 16 gauge. So if you're not sure about how the gauges run, the lower the number, the thicker the wire. Okay, now the hardness of the wire depends on what's in the wire, but this is pure copper wire, so it's easy to work with. It's nice and bendable, and the heat from your hands, you can mold with it very, very easily. Okay, as you can see, just as I'm talking, I'm able to get a nice ring out of this. Not too difficult. Okay, so that's that. So these are the different gauges that I have. There's this, which is the recycled copper. This is 18 gauge. So as you can see, 18 gauge. Like I said, I think this is about 16. This is 18. These two are 20. I get them from different places, like I said. So again, you can see, where's an end? There's an end right there. The higher the number, the thinner the wire, and the more flexible it is, right? You don't want too flexible for the first portion. This, I believe, is 16, or sorry, this, I believe, is 24, if I remember correctly, and this one is 28. This one might actually be a 26 gauge, but 28, you see how thin that is, eh? And that's good for some stuff, but it's not going to be good for what we're trying to do today. A lot of times I'll start with something and then, go back, depending on what it is. Depends on the gauge of wire that I use. So I'm definitely going to be using this 14 or 16 gauge wire. Again, I think it's 16. For the main portion of the pendant. Then we're going to go to, like I said, I think this is maybe 16, or I keep saying 16. I think this is 24 or 26 gauge. 18 and 20 are out, so we'll just put them aside. We'll put this aside. And we'll put this aside. Okay. So, as I mentioned, I'm working at the cottage here in southeastern Ontario. Today it's supposed to get to 40 degrees, and that is damn hot. So, I may have to finish this inside, but we'll see how long it takes. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make the main portion of the pendant, the circle. And then the wires for the trunk and the branches we're gonna make with the smaller. So I'm just gonna work it. Like I said, the warmer it is, the easier it is to work with. Just keep squeezing it. Try and make a nice round. You can do a pendant, you can do something to hang on the wall. You can do whatever you want. The size is totally up to you. I like my chunky jewelry, and I like people to be able to, at a distance, a fair distance, especially now, be able to see my pendant that I have dangling from my neck. They don't need to be standing on top of me to do this, or to see it, so. So I'm just gonna keep making it a little bit smaller. And I think that's pretty good. Now, I don't have a measuring tape with me, but I would say that's probably 2.5 inches. So then what we're gonna do is all of our fancy tools here. We're gonna take this right about here, and I'm going to bend this in an L. Okay, you see that? Bend it in an L, just like that, leaving about 2 inches, 2.5 inches there. Okay. And then this piece, we'll just straighten that out. We will cut that off right about here. And it doesn't want to play. Oh, look at that. Hello, Nanny. So anytime a dragonfly lands on me to see what I'm doing, I tend to call it Nanny. My grandmother was a very integral part of my life growing up. I'm gonna have to get something a little stronger here. There we go. Okay. So Nanny likes to come by and see what I'm doing quite often. If you follow my Facebook page, the Willow Branch Co. on Facebook, you would have seen that I had a dragonfly stay with me for about 4 days, literally with me. I actually took it home and gave it a spot outside alongside some baby spiders that were hatching. And lo and behold, the spiders were gone, and so was the dragonfly after about 4 days. So it was very cool. Okay, so the straight piece that I had here, we are going to just wrap it around once. Okay, try and make it a fairly tight wrap. All right, and if you can't see already what I'm doing, I'm going to be making, this is going to be our clasp at the top. So just straighten that out a bit. And with copper, you have to be careful because it is very soft. And when you put the pliers to it, you will damage it. So this one, I think I want to have a fairly nice sized loop. So as you can see, these, they're graded, right? So, or gradient. Largest being here, smallest being here. So I go to the biggest one, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a wrap around like this. And then I'm going to wrap this around the collar. My nails are a mess because I use my nails for holding on to the wire and stuff all the time. I want to get it under. Just keep playing with it. Find your tool that works best for you. Okay? I'm losing my shape, as you can see, but that's okay. So this I am going to snip off right here. We're going to lose the shape of this circle often. Okay, the more you work with it, like I said, the softer it is, but it is also very pliable. Now keep in mind that people are going to be wearing this, so you don't want anything that's going to poke the skin. All right, try and keep it as neat and tight as possible. This one I'm going to bring down here, and basically what's going to happen is I'm going to work it all in together by the end of this. All right. Those trees are blowing in the wind and it sounds like a waterfall. It's so soothing. So just wrap it around best you can. Again, it's not going to be seen. The collar is going to be covered up with the very last piece that we put on here. The piece de la resistance. Okay, so now we're going to grab our 24-26 gauge wire, and we are going to make the trunk and branches out of this. So straighten it out, and you're going to need quite a bit, as we are going to do probably 10 pieces. We'll see. I'll take a look at it. And because this is all coiled, I find that if I try and keep it as a coil, it actually works a little bit better. So to find your length that you need for these, you're going to try and get it as straight as you can. Okay, again, copper, when you warm it, is extremely pliable and easy to work with. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your wire, all right? You are going to have a tail of approximately, I don't know, I like to have a lot of tail, okay? And then that way I don't run into any shortness or anything like that, because once this wire gets twisted and so on and so forth, you're going to lose a lot of length on there. So you take it, you bring it across, and right at the very bottom, go like that, okay? Oops. Like this, and like these little ones. Snip. Okay, so here you have like a bobby pin kind of looking thing. And you straighten that out. From this one, this is going to be your template. So from here, you're going to cut 10. And if we need more, we'll cut more before we use the last one, so we can cut the template the same. Nine and 10. Okay, so we're going to start with 10. We might move to 15, might move to 12, whatever. So you take your piece and make sure you find the center. Then you're going to take this, string it on, pinch it so that it overlaps like that. So you can see that. Grab, pull, and then just bring it like that. All right. Bring the two ends together. Find your center. Pull it up. Pinch it together. Pull. And then bring it through. You're going to end up with these. Okay. These are going to form the root base, the roots of your tree of life. If you're really creative, you can put your own bumps and waves into your tree of life to denote which parts of your life were perhaps a little rocky which parts of your life were awesome, that happiest day of your life. Everybody has a, oh my gosh, this was the happiest day of my life. You can put any kind of little branches in there for that. Just know wherever your branch is, whichever branch, it's part of your life. Try and keep these straight. Okay. So this for me, I think we need it a little bit fuller. Like if I was to twist that up, that's going to twist into a pretty tiny, tiny little tree trunk. Maybe you want it tiny. I want a little bit more. So, of course I said leave a little bit out, and I didn't. Or leave one out so that you can remeasure, and I didn't. But that's okay. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So, we'll just do what we did before. Oh, straight, please, be straight. Just gonna go here. Oops. All right, we'll go this way then. And right about there is where I want my bend. And a little snip. Two. Three. Four. Now the other thing is, make sure the amount of branches, we'll call these, that you have are even numbers. It'll certainly help you in the end. So that was 10. I'm gonna put 4 more on here. Oh my gosh, my hands are so sticky. If you guys could see how I have this camera rigged up, you would laugh. It's on a stool on my table with the camera is taped using painter's tape to the end of a paintbrush because I forgot my tripod at home to be able to do this video. Resourcefulness. I'm sure if anybody came by in the boat, they would wonder just what I was doing. Looks like we might have a storm rolling in. We might end up taking this indoors after all. If we hear thunder, I'm out of here. Okay, last one. All right. So we'll bring all these guys down to the bottom. I mean, they shouldn't be so tight that you can't move them, right? They will move. I'm gonna do a little reshape. Mold as you go. I hope I'm not out of camera because there is so much masking tape on my camera, my phone that I'm videoing on. I can't really see the screen. So I am hoping you guys can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, so nice and straight makes life a whole lot easier for this. So you're gonna bring these down and you're gonna hold on to them. And I like to bring mine like this. Okay, just bring my ring sideways so you've got this happening, okay? And this is how we're gonna form the trunk. So you're gonna grab it with about 1 centimeter here, okay? And you're gonna gather them up nicely. And then you're literally going to twist the ring, okay? But don't forget, this is fairly bendable, and you don't want to ruin the shape of it as much. But so twist, holding firmly, but let the wire twist in your fingers, okay? You just give it a couple of turns, and then you end up with this. Not much, right? As you can see, what have you got going on here? Well, you've got some roots happening. So you spread them out a little bit while you still have a little bit of movement within your branches. And then you can do whatever you want from here. So if you find it hard to twist, you can, again, use a tool. But your tool will probably leave marks. So just be ever so gentle or tape up your tool, because you do not want to cut through the wire by mistake. Now, I'm going to bend this sort of, you know, I like to have some movement. I will actually move this so that I've got a little wave going on with my tree. Okay, so see that? You can do that now, you can do it later. It all depends, but I like to do it beforehand so I have a bit of a visual. And you're gonna spread these guys out because you're gonna put these into groups, okay? Try and get the ones that are coming this way over to this side and the ones that are coming from behind over to this side, okay? Starting to look like a tree already, right? Now, in groups of, I don't know, you do what you do, but I'm gonna do a group of 6 here, a group of 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I'm going to do a group of 4 here. A group of, keep your groups even numbers. Group of 4 here. A group of 4 here. No, they're not even. As in, I have a group of 6 and a group of 6. Oh, no, I don't. I thought I did. That's okay. And a group of 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. I guess I'll do a group of 6 at the bottom. Okay. So bringing these branches down, I like them to look somewhat like a willow branch. That's funny. Haha, the Willow Branch Co. Long story short, when my sister and I were born, my dad planted willow trees in our honor, and one of the willow trees is still alive today. One of them died a few years ago when we had a big ice storm here. But anyway, so that's where the name the Willow Branch tree came from, or the Willow Branch Co. came from. Okay, so now what we do is take these and we are going to, this doesn't necessarily have to be here. We can twist these. So because my hands are really quite tacky because it's like so humid out here, I am going to use my tools. I'm going to tape them up so that they don't end up cutting my wire. There we go. Another little piece over here. Look at my nails from grabbing onto that. If you have, you know, you like to keep your nails nice, maybe this isn't the project for you. Acrylic nails work wonderfully, but of course we don't have the luxury of that right now. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna take this, flatten it out, give it a twist or two, twist it up. These ones, twist them up. You can move these things out of the way. Give them a nice twist, okay? Just be mindful that these do break sometimes. There isn't much you can do about it. You just roll with it. Now, branches. Remember we were in public school and we used to draw trees. The trunk would come up, and then we would go branch, 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 and then we would do the little leaves that go around it. It's not really how trees are. If you saw at the beginning of the video, I was showing you trees. The branches are kind of scattered and all over the place. Some come down, some cross over, they're all over the place. So that's what we are going to do today as well with this. Creativity, a little bit of flow, make it life, okay? We are gonna give this life at the end. Make it come alive, as I say. Okay. So I like this side better. This is the back side, but do you see this, how these are crossing like this? I like that. So this is gonna be the side that I'm gonna work with, hopefully. But you never know till it's all done. All right. Now I'm gonna break these off. We're gonna go maybe 3 and 3. Because there was 6, we'll go 3 and 3 now. And give this a little twist. A lot of twisting in this. This one we're gonna do 2 and 2. We'll do these ones 2 and 2. Now for this part, I'm actually going to go like this. I'm going to trade up. Okay, so this one is going to cross over. I'm going to do a little bit more on this one. And then we'll do a little 2 here. And 2 here. Now I have done this workshop in my home a few different times, and my groups seem to really like it, especially when we get it to the end and we give it some life. It's just such a fun little calming project. It's just twisting wire, that's all it is. Nothing is perfect. We don't want it perfect. The hardest thing we have to concentrate on is making sure that we don't break the wires, and well, so far so good. Look at that, is that not cool or what? How these are coming up like that. So this one I'm gonna do 4 and 2. The other side I did 3 and 3. This side I'm gonna do 4 and 2. Let's just for fun, let's see what happens. So far so good. That's looking pretty cool. Do you like? Thumbs up? Yeah? Do a little, yeah. So this is where we start to just maybe put a little creativity into it, a little thought, move the wires around, see what you like. And I like how that's looking there. So, give this a little pinch here. And break the 3 into 2. This may or may not work. I don't know. That's the best part of creating. You don't know. No. I am gonna have to, I'm gonna just twist this around, sort of like a random little branch. So we're coming out to the outer edge, and as you can see, my twist is going to come to about here. All right, this is where I want my branch to come down. I'm probably gonna give it some zigzag, so I am going to just wrap this around or twist this around a few more times so that when I give it some life, it will shorten it up. See, we'll just kind of like twist it like that, and then we're gonna be able to twist this around, okay? Now this one, I'm just doing the wire. Quite often, I will also put little tiny beads on the branches, and that's really cute too. Number 10 seed beads are generally what I use. I don't even know if I brought any with me. So these are number 10 seed beads. Oh my gosh, it's so hot that they're sticking to the plastic container. Wow. So see how tiny those are? But those will fit on your wire. So I would literally stick them in there. And just lean on the edge of it and it'll go right through. And then you would just twist the wire around the edge and then you've got some really pretty beads. But this one I'm just gonna do plain. Whoops, I'm losing all my beads here. That's all right. I literally have thousands and thousands and thousands of beads at home. Although waste not, want not, right? Hello there. I don't think you can see it, but the dragonfly was back. Okay. So this is kind of how I want it to look. Okay. Like I said, I'll do different things here and there. I'm going to bring it to life at the end. But for the most part, I think this is where I want it. So we're done twisting. Now what we do is separate these. Okay. And start twisting. Twist, twist, twist. More and more twisting. Bring this and smooth it out. It doesn't matter what side you go on. Just try and keep it tight to the main wire. Like that. This one I'm going to bring down and put it beside this one. I hope you guys can see this okay. Like I said, I have so much tape on my camera I can't really see. Or my phone. Now these, if they're too long, you can snip them off. I like to have as much wire as I can covering the main wire. I do not know why, I just like the look of it. So if you're using recycled copper wire, such as the pieces that I showed you earlier, it will tarnish. It will turn your, finger green if you have it on a ring or whatever. The stuff that you buy from the store, Michael's, Joann's, wherever you are, it has like a coating on it, so it doesn't tend to tarnish. So kind of keep that in mind. The stuff that is recycled, what I do with it is Susan Bailey over at Turtle Soup Beads does polymer clay, and she uses Pledge Revive It floor polish for her beads, and I'm telling you, that stuff is amazing. So you just dip it in, let it hang to dry, and it will put a coating on it. And I have not had any breakouts on my skin or anything like that from it. It's wonderful. Yeah, shout out to Susan at Turtle Soup Beads. I love her stuff. She got me started in polymer clay. If you saw my other video of the flower bouquet pendant that I did in polymer clay, Susan was a huge inspiration for me to do polymer clay. I just love working with polymer clay. It's fantastic. Again, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see all kinds of stuff that I do. So it's the Willow Branch Co. I have all kinds of polymer clay stuff on there that I do. I do anything from wire work, polymer clay, bead work. I make dream catchers. Oh my gosh. Pyro, wood burning. Wow, there's a ton of different things that I do. Macrame, if you saw my other tutorial that I did a macrame one. Yeah, lots of different stuff. So check it out. Like, share, comment. I love comments. I would really love and appreciate some comments on here. If you have any questions at all about what I'm doing, how I do it, if you don't understand something that I have done or how I've done it, feel free to ask. Anything. I'm happy sharing my abilities with you. So yeah, that's that. And if you like this video, here we go into the spiel. If you like this video, please subscribe, comment, and don't forget to ring the little bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video, which seems to be few and far between these days due to the fact that, I don't know, life just got really busy all of a sudden, and I just didn't have time to make any videos for the last month or so. I don't know. Anyway, I'm back. So yeah, I'd appreciate some subscriptions to my channel. And I would really like some comments, because I don't know if I'm doing what you guys like. I'm just doing whatever I think you might like. Show me the love. Okay, so here we're gonna do this one. Over here. There. And because I'm keeping these fairly loose, I guess you could say, in terms of extra wire in the loops and stuff like that. Let's pretend I don't like the way that this one is moving. I can twist it a different way. Now this looks really cool right here. So I am going to, it looks like it's windswept. And if this was a wall piece, which I've done wall pieces as well, you know, you could make it so that these pieces wrap around and behind. These pieces, I would use a lot more pieces to make it a little bit more fuller, a little bit more full. Bad English, sorry. So those pieces would be coming behind. These pieces would be coming out this way, and it would totally look like the wind was blowing from one direction. And that would be really super cool. Too bad I hadn't thought of that. Oh well. This is what we're doing, and maybe that'll be a different tutorial. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think so far? Cool, eh? I'm definitely interested in knowing what you guys want to see, what you're interested in. If I have never done it before, I am on board for trying it. If you have suggested sites of something that you think is really cool and you'd like me to try whatever it is that they're doing, let me know in the comments below, because I love trying new things. The best part of what I do is trying new things and challenging myself. I guess you could say I get complacent with having to do the same thing over and over again. I do have a Cricut machine and I absolutely love it. But doing vinyl cutouts constantly is not my bag, and I think that's why I do have so many different things that I do, is just because I just like the challenge of new and different things that I can try. So for instance, I had never touched wood burning before. I've always thought the art of it was really, really cool. So for Christmas, my husband bought me a wood burning kit, and love it. It's really cool, and I look to the professionals on YouTube to see how they do their things and what their techniques are, and I can say that I learn from the best. So I, proclaim that I am self-taught. I am a self-taught artist, but I do a lot of research. I do a lot of YouTubing, to see how things are done properly and, what are people doing. So again, if you have something in mind that you would like me to try, I'm up for the challenge. Leave me a comment. I would love to try it. One of my very best friends is a potterer. She does pottery as a side gig. She's a calligraphy artist. Among other things, she's a super talented woman. Genco Calligraphy. Check her out. Anyway, she does pottery, and one of these days, we are going to get together and I am going to do some pottery with her. Never touched pottery in my life, but I figure if I do polymer clay, you know, I could probably do something with pottery. I would hope so anyway. All right, folks. So that's what we have so far. Okay. Neat, right? Now, if you had put more on, then of course you would have more branches, right? Okay, so now we are going to use the 20 gauge wire. 18, 20, no, we're gonna use 20 gauge wire. And we are going to do a braided edge, okay? And that's why I said you don't have to worry about this too much, because this scarf here is going to be covered up when we're done. And in fact, I'm going to pinch this a little bit more. I'll pinch it with these. There we go. And what we'll do is, I'm gonna put a scarf, like we're gonna put the braided edge. The scarf will be covered up, and then we'll put a jump ring in here so that when it's hanging from here, let's say, when it's hanging, it doesn't hang, oh my gosh, I'm shaky. It doesn't hang, you know, funky, right? This is your neck. So if we put a jump ring in through the top, the jump ring will keep it so that it's stabilized. Here, I just showed it on myself and you can't even see me, so that was not really worth it. So I am going to use the 20 gauge wire. I'm gonna pull some off here and I will show you how it's done. All right, so we're gonna take this, and as you know, it's going to be braided. So we're gonna take a little, much more, way more than we need, I'm sure. All right, we just want it to be able to go around the outside, but I don't know how short it's gonna become once we start braiding the wire. Okay, so I'm gonna take it just a little bit more. All right, there's one single piece. I am going to do, sorry, hang on. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. If I was to take this tag off of here, it just goes boing, and then there's wire everywhere. So that's why it seems like I'm struggling, because I am. So this one, to make life a whole lot easier, I am going to go here to the end to end, and then right about here, I'm not going to cut it. I am going to double the length of this one, and I will show you why. Okay, so you have a short one and you have a long one. We're gonna put all of this stuff aside. Oops, I just moved that, sorry. Sorry, folks. Whew. Okay. So for the long one, oh, there's a beautiful breeze coming through here. My gosh, is it ever gray right now? Whew. You're gonna put your two ends together, and you are going to try your best to get this to fold in half. And you do want it pretty close, as close to even as you can get it. Straighten your pieces out, okay? This one, this is also why you need a little extra. This one, we're gonna come up here, pinch it, see how that goes? Okay, you're gonna pinch it just like as if you were doing the first part of the wire attachment on the pendant. You're gonna bring it through like that, okay? Now, if I had a pin or something here, this would be so much easier, but I don't. So what I think I'm going to do, and this is going to be a little, I was going to try and hook it up over here, but you're not going to be able to see me braid it. We're just going to go for it. If you see me struggling, well, I probably am. All right, so you have your three pieces. I'm sure most of you know how to do a braid, but just in case you don't, I'll show you. Take three pieces. I had the long piece, I folded it in half. Took my shorter piece, just wrapped it around the top where the point was, and then we begin our braid. The first little bit of your braid is not going to be the neatest, the tightest, the best part for probably a couple of inches. So once we get down to about here, this is where the best part is going to be, and that's the part that we're probably going to be using anyway. So what you do is, can you see this? I start from the left, fold it over to the middle. From the right, fold it over to the middle. To the left, fold it over. Try and keep it fairly tight. Your best hope is that your braids are going to come out nice and straight. So once you have something to hang on to, I pick it up and then I braid nice and easy, keeping it as straight as I can, keeping your loops as best you can as well. Try not to bend, like you see that bend there, try not to bend your pieces too much. You really want them just to flow in on a bit of a curve, not really a bend. So it's a bit finicky, but once it's done, you're gonna love it. and do your best. Remember, nothing's perfect. As a very good friend of mine said, if it was perfect, it would have come from China, and it didn't. It came from you. Another little fun fact, did you know that the indigenous people actually put an error in all of their works because nothing is perfect? So if you make a mistake on a piece that you're doing, and it's not a huge mistake where everybody is going to notice it, leave the mistake there. You're not going to stress over it. Art is not supposed to be stressful. Art is an expression. And yes, I know I keep talking about not being perfect and so on and so forth. What you perceive as perfect might not be what somebody else perceives as perfect. This piece that I'm doing right now is not going to be perfect. However, somebody may look at it and go, oh my God, that is so perfect, right? Don't be hard on yourself. Put your errors in. Intentionally make an error somewhere. You know that it's there. Nobody else is going to know that it's there. You will feel so much better. Let it go, let it go. Yeah, my kids were too old for Frozen, so I really don't know what I'm singing there. Okay, so see what I said? Your first little bit is just gonna be like, wow, what is going on there? And then you can see how it's starting to shape up right here, right? So as long as I can keep that momentum going, that'll be the best usable piece for the outside that we're trying to achieve here. Oh my goodness, it is so dark here. The clouds have come. That's okay. Love sitting under my covered porch here when it's raining. Of course, I don't want thunder and lightning, but when it's raining, I don't mind sitting out. It's so pretty. Love the sound of it on our tin roof. Okay. Coming along. I cut way too much wire. This is definitely not going to require as much as I thought it might. As much as I had cut off. Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm gonna take this and just make sure it's straight. Oh, we are getting there. So that's gonna go around the outside like that. Of course, it'll fit snugly. So we're almost there. I want a little bit more. So I want part of the collar or the scarf to be braided as well. There we go. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. We're just gonna chop this piece off. Easy peasy. We're gonna give it a little bend. We'll give it a little bend for this. So you see how this color is gonna work, right? Then we take it and we are going to wrap this like this. Remember these pieces here that I was talking about that are sticking out? We weren't going to worry about those because they are going to come down here. Now I may need, sorry, I think I'm out of frame there. I may need to braid just a teeny weeny bit more. Yep, just a teeny beeny. Okay, not a problem. Here I was thinking I had too much. I didn't. Too much wire. Tell you, your fingers get a workout in this. You have tender fingers. You will after this, for sure. Okay, so hopefully this will be enough. We're going to tack this in place with little pieces of wire. Yep, just enough. Yay, okay. All right, so this is our front here. So what we do now is we take some of the teeny 28 gauge wire. Let's take this piece off. And I'll do 2 lengths of it. And I need this little one. Oh my gosh, that little piece of tape just wants to stay with me. Okay. So here we're just going to tack on very easily. So I say easily. go here. Bring that around and up through here. Trim that off. And this little tiny wire will break super easy. So we're just gonna bring it around. And then it's kind of like sewing. And this little piece is tiny whiny. And we just want this to come around. And just stick up in here. We just want to tuck it in. We can just tuck it in there. That way it won't catch on anything. So these pieces that we're almost using like thread just become part of the design. See? That's how easily those little ones break. All right. That's not what I wanted it to do, so we'll just tuck it in the back. There we go. And we'll do another little tack here. Now you can absolutely use a thicker gauge wire for this. I'm not saying you have to deal with this little stuff. And here, I don't have a knife with me, but when I'm done, I will tuck those in better. Okay, so here we are. Just gonna make a bend here. Going around the collar. Actually, I think I'm gonna take that from the back. Go around the collar. I want it to be flat. And then we are going to take this one time around so it stays. This is the back. We're going to cut this off right about here. Oops. Let's twist it. Gather it together. And tuck. And we are going to tuck this down in here. Wow, I have to make that smaller still. Holy. Where's my big ones? Right here. Right in here. Just tuck it right down in there. Fiddly fuddly. That's okay. All right. So as you can see that right there. Whoop, there we go. That's one of the ones I thought was going to be a good one. Ooh, nice breeze. Okay. This one seems a little loose, but I think what we'll do is we'll just put a couple more tacks in it before we're finished with it. Put another one up here and pull this one out and put one there. Okay, so what do you think so far? I like it. So this is where we put a little bit of life into it. We're gonna lift up and move it around. So we did a little bit of that already, but we're gonna give it some more life. This was always the favorite part of when I did workshops. People were like, oh my gosh, now I know what you mean by giving it some life, right? So this, have this one come out, popping off. You see the dimensions? Right? Love it. And don't forget about your roots. So your roots, to me, need a little bit of pizzazz as well. This is where you come from right here. Just go in and start grabbing. You don't have to be particularly gentle. Just don't forget that it's all one piece now. Right? And that's it. So, aside from putting a few more wraps on there to keep it attached, you know, this one will be brought over a little bit. What do you think? I love it. You can always tweak, tweak, tweak. I feel raindrops. Right when we're done. Fantastic. All right, folks. So that is how you do a Copper Tree of Life pendant. Like I said, I will put a jump ring through here so that when it lays on your body, that, you know, it lays properly, and it'll have a whole lot more swing than that. Okay, there you go. I hope you loved this tutorial as much as I loved making it. And again, please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there is anything that you would like to see me make. Give me a challenge. I love challenges. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell beside the subscribe button so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks, guys. Bye.